Hello, this is William Longfellow back on Lesson 2 of Pilotwings for the Super Nintendo. And today, among other things, we'll be learning how to fly the rocket belt. Now, if you thought that Pilotwings had any pretense of being a realistic flight simulator, well, I don't think they have rocket belts, not even in Japan. But we won't be starting with that today, we'll be starting with the skydiving. And this one's a bit more difficult than the first skydiving and than the other levels, in my opinion. In my practice runs, I spent a fair amount of time in the pool that surrounds the target there, and that's one of the reasons it's harder than in the first lesson. The target's smaller and it's surrounded by water. If you land in the water, well, you don't get points. You don't get points for landing, at least. Now, these first 3 rings out of 5 are very easy. You don't have to move at all to go through them. And the next one is to the right there. You can probably see the single ball that expands to the bigger ring. You just move very comfortably over here. There, barely past the ring. Now, I think I moved a little bit too much to go through that ring. Now, you might be asking, what do you mean by move too much? And I have a sort of principle about going through the rings in these skydiving lessons, where basically if you panic too much, you're likely to sort of just make a big mistake and fly all over, far away from any of the rings. Whereas if you're able to hit the rings with as little motion as possible, that's a much safer way to proceed. And there we get, I think, 60 points. A decent landing there. Yep, 90 points total. I don't get to see Shirley's anime-amazed face when you get 100 points, but we'll see if I can do that in the light plane level. I usually get about 90 points in this level. And there's another fly through rings course where I like to accelerate to 99 as fast as possible. That'll get me the points for speed, because it's really easy to aim through the rings. I like to hit sort of the right edge of these rings so that I can level myself off with the runway as soon as possible. So, here, once I pass these rings, I lower myself, slow down just a bit, get myself even with the runway, maybe bear a little to the right, and then adjust my angle a little bit. And there, we lower the nose. Not a perfect angle. I don't think I'll get the full 100 points, but this is definitely sufficient, especially for an early level where the passing score is relatively low. And 90 points is an A-, enough to sort of surprise Shirley, but we don't get her really surprised face. Now on the rocket belt, I probably could get 100 points, but I'm gonna do something special, you'll see. This is another fly through rings course. Shirley really likes these. And the trick with the rocket belt is that once you start moving, you keep your momentum. So, for instance, now I turn to the right, but I'm still moving the direction I was moving before. So when you make a turn, it's important to set your jets, turn yourself sort of on the inside of the curve to counteract the extra momentum that you got from what you did last time. And normally I would be aiming for this bullseye in the center here, but I have different plans today. I'm going for the moving platform. If you hit the moving platform in any of this, the skydiving, or, well, another event that we'll be seeing later, you have a bonus chance. And these are all fanciful little events where you play as, well, some kind of birdman here. And I'm going to switch view by pressing L and R to a bird's eye view, appropriate for my character. And so if I hit this yellow pad, I fly up to about 400 feet, and I'm going to be aiming for these little P squares. They'll give me some more points. 5 points there. Some of them give 5 points, some of them give 10. There, all 3 of those gave 5 points. Now, since I've already easily passed the course, it's immaterial how many points I get in the bonus. But if you want to maximize your points, you can, well, quite easily cheese the area by going very slowly over the P blocks so that you can hit all 2 or 3 of them on each island. You get something like 175, 180 points there. I don't know whether I'll be able to hit the 30 here. I Again, I don't think it matters terribly much whether I get 5 or 30. Yeah, I think 30 is the amount I get there, so 145, a fine score for this level. Better than 100, but Shirley's not terribly surprised there. I wonder how many students get through the level by passing the bonus stage and then one other course and have enough points to not have to do the third lesson, but I wanted to show off all 3 here. And so 325 points, more than is technically possible, and that earns me my B-class license. I suppose that's better than an A-class license. I don't know. Grading seems to be opposite in Japan here, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll be seeing you next time. See ya.